Hey yo, this is Agostino Zinga. Welcome back to the Agostino Zinga show. And I'm reacting to ROSALÍA Berghain featuring Bjork and Eve Schumer. Let's go. Okay, she walks into a really nice apartment, by the way. That apartment looks lovely. I don't know if it's actually hers, but that apartment looks lovely. I can tell by the size of the doors, the height of the ceilings, ooh, the furniture, the flooring, the big curtains. Here we go. Opera things. Opera things. Oh, look at the feet. Lovely. Look at the heels. I like that shot. I love that shot. I love this shot. Yeah. Bring back Larry. Bring back. Yo, I didn't know she could sing like that. I didn't know she could like sing like an opera singer. God damn. Chills down my spine, blood clot. I'm only like Mamacita. Well, not Mamacita. Moto Mummy, right? Moto Mummy, Mamacita. God damn. I'm only, that sounds kind of racist, isn't it? I'm only Moto Mummy, what do you call it, familiar when it comes to ROSALÍA. I did not know she was opera trained. God damn. Is that German, by the way? Are the opera singing in German? Is that German or what? I'm not too sure. But god damn, that sounds incredible. Imagine her performing this live in Berghain in that room called Suli, however you fucking pronounce it. Woohoo! Could you imagine? With the lights and you sit on those big black blocks, like tripping out of your head on fucking whatever. Can you imagine how lit that would be? Yo, wagwan for the lack of lifts as well, by the way. Wagwan for the lack of lifts over there in that part of the world. Why do most buildings not have lifts? Are we in the UK too pampered? Are we in London too pampered? Are we too soft? Are we too Karen-y? Are we too posh that we have lifts in most places? Like, I've lived in like council houses. I've lived in ghettos. Like ghettos with a capital G, right? With like graffiti everywhere, people shooting up everywhere, people getting shot up everywhere, people, you know, fucking 12-year-olds getting pregnant and shit, horrible shit, mold everywhere. But I still had lifts, and they work. That's the wild thing. I've lived in places where they still have lifts like that, and they fucking work. But somehow, in fucking Berlin, or in most parts of Europe, places I've been, France, Italy, Spain, right? Netherlands and shit, there's hardly any lifts in buildings above like what, 2 floors or 3 floors. Like, they don't work. They don't have them. So what do you do if you're like invalid? Not invalid. What do you do if you're like unable to climb stairs? Someone tell me. What do you do if you're unable to climb stairs and you live in parts of Europe where they don't seem to like agree with lifts? They don't agree with lifts. Their bus stops are way far, or their stations are not close to anything close. Like, I don't know what's going on. Am I too soft, or is Europe got it right? Please let me know in the comments. Oh, that's sick. Such a quintessential European experience, right? Going to get something, I don't know, done in the jewelers, getting on a bus. Like, this is a quintessential European experience. I really dread the people who go on holiday and just had to just jump on Ubers everywhere. Don't take public transport. Don't walk around, see the sights and sounds. I've been known to, and this is very unproductive and probably a bad use of time, but I've been known to go to certain parts of Europe and just get a haircut there. I'll raggo, go to a certain place, and it's risky. Some places you go to as a black man, it's fucking risky to go to some parts of Europe and just say, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna go get a haircut. But I'm not gonna lie, The last time I got my best haircut you know where I got my best haircut in the world? Mexico City. Big up my Mexicans out there. When I went to fucking Mexico, big up CDX. Big up fucking my Mexican people out there. When I went to Mexico, I got the best haircut I've ever got in my entire life in some random, small, ghetto Mexican barbershop. I don't even know how I found it. I think it might have been, if I'm not mistaken, I think this barber shop may have been next to the Frida Kahlo Gallery. If I'm gonna be, because again, my memory is so fucked up, right? From all the adult vitamins I've done over my life, my memory's a bit fried. But if I'm not mistaken, this barbershop was somewhere near the vicinity of the Frida Kahlo Gallery exhibition, former residence, wherever it is, right? Where all the stuff is there. And it was kind of cool to kind of walk around there. And for some reason, I saw a barbershop, went in there. It took about 3 hours, don't get me wrong. But oh my God, the fade. Maravilloso. Wow. Oh, Bjork. I actually knew that was Bjork. She got such a distinctive voice. We got Bjork. I instantly knew that was her. Instantly knew that was Bjork. Pick up Bjork.
To save us is through divine intervention. The only way I will be saved. Divine intervention.
Wow.
I'll fuck you till you love me. I'll fuck you till you.
Oh, that's Yusumo, right? Yusumo's that angry deer there with the black tears coming out of his eyes. Look at ROSALÍA, mother of animals, mother of wildlife. Big up ROSALÍA.
I'll fuck you till you.
There we go. There's Yusumo. That's a very appropriate him being the deer, right? Deer caught in headlights. That's what happened when he's playing, right? His DJ sets for the fucking Swedish House Mafia, wasn't he? He was like a deer caught in the headlights. Didn't know what to do.
You love me. I'll fuck you till you love me. I'll fuck you till you love me. Till you love me. Till you love me.
Oh, that's a beautiful. No, again, going back just a little way. That's a beautiful single bed, isn't it? Most single beds that guys have are usually kind of lonely, and they kind of look like, you know, they're very Andrew Tate coded, right? They kind of look like Fresh and Fit. But that's a really cool. That's a very cool, very nice, very accommodating, very lacking in loneliness, right? That bed feels cool. And by the way, she's got nice pillows. Because one thing I have to say, when I stayed in Europe, especially places like Berlin, they have the worst pillows everywhere. Anytime I stayed in the Airbnb, the pillows have been awful. I fucking hate Europe. Those, I don't know what they are. It's not even, you know, that's a regular pillow, right? The regular pillow shape. I don't know why they have these things that look like bags. Like, and they're like malleable. You can, I guess they're like, in a way they're sort of like customizable, right? Maybe in a way they're kind of customizable, but they're fucking annoying. They're fucking annoying because you can never be comfortable in them. You have to kind of have 4 to make it comfortable, but then by the time you're 4, your kind of neck is cranked like that. It's all over the place. But that's a really fucking nice. That headboard looks expensive. I love it.
Till you love me. Till you love me. Till you love me. Till you love me. Love me. Till you love me.
Oh, just gorgeous. Oh, Sugar Kid. Wow, turned to a bird. Berghain ROSALÍA. That was fucking superb. I don't know what the fuck you guys are talking about, but that was fucking superb. I loved every bit of that. I loved every bit of that. I don't know what the fuck you motherfuckers have been talking about. I loved every fucking bit of that. Honestly, I loved every fucking bit of that. There are some people out there rightfully saying that this doesn't really have anything to do with Berghain, which it clearly doesn't, like in a literal sense. But why would that stop anybody? Can people be less boring and more like open-minded and creative and whatever, and not take anything so literally? Like, obviously, if you name a song like Blue, do I have to say the name Blue? Do I have to say the word blue? Do I have to mention things that are blue? Do I have to fucking talk about other colors? Can't it just be a name of a song? Don't get me wrong. I'm a big fan of having songs sometimes that are that kind of pertain to the chorus, pertain to the overall theme of the song, but it's not necessary. It's like going to see a piece of art in an art gallery. The name or whatever doesn't really give you any inclination, or what the piece is named, what the works is named, shouldn't give you any indication of what the piece is about. It's just what it is, Either you like it or you don't. I don't really like the whole like name thing like that. I don't know. I find it weird. I find it fucking weird. But I think in general, if I had to kind of like psychoanalyze this to like exhaustive detail, Anthony Fantano style, I would say there are elements of this particular video, particular song, not even understanding any of the lyrics, not doing any of the fucking research, not doing any of the translating, just from what I can just glean, that would kind of tell you, that kind of come across in a way that it sort of tells you the story of like lust, of like longing, of like discovery, of like relaxation, of like being transported to like another realm, whether that's through the use of drugs or drinking or just atmosphere and meditation or whatever else it may be. There is a part of it that I feel like kind of ties itself quite closely to the experience that most of us have had when we've been to places like Berghain or clubs that are similar, So I feel like it's got the essence of it without being too literal, which is something that I'd say, if I'm like a Channel Trace, it is something that you probably missed out on. I think most people that try to like make songs inspired by that great club, it probably doesn't need to be so literal. I think something like this does a far better job of sort of like getting across the feeling of going, of not going, getting in, not getting in, being in there, what happens in there, all the feelings around it, all the feelings happen after the fact. It gets it across in a very visceral, a very deep, a very emotional way that you can't really ignore. Let's be real. You can't really ignore it. And if you've been there and done it, you know what I'm talking about. Now, who knows? This apartment couldn't even, like, I think most apartments in like Central Europe for the most part look the same. So this probably, this might not even be Berlin. This could be Frankfurt. This could be fucking Dusseldorf. This could be fucking Zurich, right? This could be fucking Antwerp. This could be anywhere. But it's kind of giving me something, I'm kind of getting something from that Berghain sort of vibe, that Berghain sort of feel. I love the addition of Bjork towards the end. I don't necessarily think the use Tumor addition is necessary, personally. It gives it a bit of a punch at the end, but it's not really necessary, really. But I do like what she's doing musically. And again, I love that she takes risks. I love that she takes a chance, because me personally, I'm not somebody that's going to sit here and say that I was a fan of ROSALÍA since Los Angeles. Right, I wasn't listening to then. I only discovered ROSALÍA because of, I think, that Bad Bunny era. The time I discovered Bad Bunny is when I discovered ROSALÍA, and I found out obviously about ROSALÍA mostly because of Motomami. So that sound of Motomami, that kind of, what you call it, reggaeton, Latin trap, whatever you're gonna call it, I would have assumed, because she does that so well, that's what she does, and she could easily replicate that album, but she didn't. She decided to go on different sort of tangent, different sort of fucking side quest, and explore herself musically. Now, I have heard that she was trained as an opera singer in other places, allegedly. That's what I've heard some places. And that she went back to her roots. And I've also heard conversations around my side of social media, because, I follow a lot of prominent gays and shit, and they're complaining that she's become very religious. They're calling it a religious psychosis, which I think is a bit unfair, right? If you rediscover your religion later on in your life, I don't think it should always be a psychosis. But they get a bit nervous about what the songs and what the music and what the messaging could be like. But I don't necessarily think that's fair. And ROSALÍA, let's talk about this, right? ROSALÍA is a huge fucking star. She's a megastar. She went from being relatively unknown to being a legit megastar in a very, very short space of time. And to me, I don't think it's that much of a surprise for her to maybe lean on or to go back to religion. I think most pop stars that get to that kind of level, or most big stars that get to that level in general, I think there is a realization that once you've hit those heady heights, that you really need to center yourself from religion. And we know what we're talking about. I don't need to get into it, but the things that people see in those type of spaces, look at Justin Bieber. It's no surprise Justin Bieber went from, remember Justin Bieber, we saw him going viral on social media because he went to Rio Carnival and ended up sleeping with like 17 hookers and shit, and they were filming videos of him in the bed while he's passed out after like having a bunch of fun with them. And now all of a sudden, he's like wife guy supreme. He's got his own brand. He does Bible studies on Twitch and stuff. He's living a completely different lifestyle. And I think that comes from seeing the excesses, going to the depths of like hedonism and like excess and greed and money and this and enjoyment, and then realizing that really, that doesn't really fill that hole in you. You need something more, whether it's a family, whether it's religion, whether it's purpose, something. So I don't think it's that surprising to see her tap back into religion, because it is a safe space, a comfort place to come back to. And you feel, probably you would imagine, you feel normal, right? It might be the one place she goes to where no one treats her like she's ROSALÍA, the big star. Whatever her name is, right? Let's say her name, whatever her actual name is, or whatever they call her, her friends call her, that's what they probably call her at church. She gets regarded in that way. And that probably is a really nice break, a bit of a fresh air from constantly being hounded and harassed and having people kind of oogle at you when you've kind of gone from being relatively unknown to what she is now. So I can understand if she'd leapt back into religion that way, because a lot of my friends, a lot of people that I watch and stuff have gone that way too. Some of them have gone through that way because, you know, sexual assault cases and shit, and they tend to kind of go that way, you know. We know who those people are. Big up Russell Brand, big up ROSALÍA, big up Brian Callen, all those type of people. But in general, I think most creatives, most people who kind of reach the heady heights of stardom, they do decide to sometimes revert back to religion, because it does seem like the safe space to go back to when you've exhausted all the worldly and earthly delights that then don't really quench your hunger, quench your thirst the way that you thought they would. But overall, really like the video. Would be amazed if he doesn't perform it in Berghain. Considering her profile and her stature, I'd be amazed if it doesn't actually perform it at Berghain. That might be the whole point though, right? The fact that it kind of is, it kind of synthesizes the feeling of Berghain without actually being about Berghain, without looking like it's about Berghain, but still kind of getting it's about Berghain, right? But that, like I said before, I'd love to see it performed in that Suli Soul Room, however you pronounce it. That'd be fucking amazing. If any of you guys have been there, you know what I'm talking about. It legitimately looks like, you know that scene in Dune where like he's like standing and he's like, and I think they're all gathered and they're sitting on the floor. It kind of has that similar sort of vibe about it. It's like a really nice room with blocks and stuff, and you sit and it's brightly lit. And I think one time I went there, they had candles around the fucking stage. Like, it's super spooky, but it's really fucking cool. I think she'd smash it over there, especially with the fucking opera. I love the layering of the, or the bunching of the people in the frame. I love the color grading, you know, the texture of it. It seems very rich. It seems really bright. It doesn't have that annoying washed out yellow tint that most kind of music videos have. I love the looks that she has. I love the simplicity of her hair and makeup. Nothing too crazy or glam, but I love the fucking dresses. I love how she looks, how she moves in her, you know, clothes. It seems to fit her really well. Off the bat, it looks like she's like an Ottolinger girly, right? Off that kind of vibe, that Delaria lady that everyone hates in London who treats her interns badly. She's kind of got that vibe about it. But I think anyone that can make whatever that type of dress is, that type of vibe, she seems to kind of click with that really, really well. So again, can't wait to hear the album. Album's coming out, I think, sometime in November, if I'm not mistaken. But this is Berghain by ROSALÍA. Big up fucking Berghain. Big up ROSALÍA. Can't wait to see what she has coming forward. But anybody else checking out the clip, I appreciate you. Make sure you like and subscribe down below. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. Did you enjoy ROSALÍA Berghain like I did? Let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to know your thoughts and feelings. See you later. Peace.